Welcome everyone. It's 7:02 on the clock, which is the Chariot and the High Priestess. Just a reminder to go to Instagram for my messages. I've been posting a bunch of pictures. I was at the beach yesterday. There's some beautiful seagull energies, but there's definitely some messages to read there. So check them out. I always post my pictures with music, and you're supposed to listen to it with the music because it gives you a different feeling. So I have two of my messages of the day for you guys today, as well as the twin flame read on the table. I was just meditating just now, excuse me, and I was getting, first there was a bird, I think it was a pelican actually, trying to pull up, it was like trying to pull up your covers over your bed, but you know it's stuck on one side, somebody tucked it in or something, and you can't actually pull it all the way up. It's like the bird keeps tugging on it to try to pull it up, but the cover's not coming up all the way over. And then I was seeing Teddy Bear, our dog, spreading out his paws, like spreading out the bed afterwards. So it's like the bird, the feminine, and the dog, the masculine type of energies. And then and then King Kong came in, like overseeing it all. And I was getting the Island of Misfit Toys as well as King Kong changed into the Lion King, and it was a huge lion overseeing everything. And then I saw that actually King Kong and the Lion King were partnering up to watch over everything. So it was a very interesting energy for Lionsgate there. So let's take a few deep breaths before we go on, and then we'll roll the die. We'll do some oracle cards at the end as well. So let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths. Another deep breath. One more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. It was a beautiful day here. And let's get going with this message here. Let's get the die out here. Today is the 2nd of August. Oh, the candles went out. I guess it was a little bit low for that. There's still wax in there. I don't know why it went out. Sorry about that. I guess we're not meant to have flames today. There's still a little flame lit there, so I don't know if you can see it or not in the coconut shell there. For the twin flames, August 2nd, 2023. And the 2 is coming up because we started at 7:02 and it's August 2nd, so that High Priestess energy is definitely significant today. We have Virgo energy here, along with the 6, which is Gemini and the Lovers. It's June as well, so that goes into Cancer as well, but it's the Lovers and Love, Family, and Community, the Spiral as well. And then we have the Sun over here, so Leo energy is coming in along with that childlike energy and leadership energy. Obviously, we had a huge lion just coming in. So we're going from Leo to Virgo as well this month. And then the 6 of Love, Family, and Community, and the Lovers in the middle there, of Gemini and the Twins as well. So Leo, Gemini, and Virgo. But where's Cancer? You might wonder, right? Because we're going from Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and then Virgo, and the only one that's not represented here is Cancer. So, and actually Cancer's been coming up a lot in the messages. So let's see where all this goes. So I'm going to do the messages of the day first, and we'll do the twin flame read on the table last. So this first read here is the Fortune's Oracle at the top, and then we have the Past Life deck, that's a Brian Weiss deck, and then the Ascension deck, and then the Journey of Love, and then Rider-Waite there at the bottom, the full deck. For those of you not familiar, it's the underlying energy on the left. I usually pull 3 cards. Sometimes another will come out. And then the other cards are extra cards that wanted to come out organically, and I used them for numerology as well as to finish off the storyline for each one. So this was from, I have one from the 31st and then one from today, and then the read on the table. So this one was pulled out on the 31st at night from 8:17 to 8:21. Fortune's Oracle was the 17 of the star. Past life deck was the 18 of the moon. The Ascension deck was 19 of the sun. 20 was the Journey of Love deck, which is the Judgment card. And then we have the 21 of the World, which was the Rider-Waite deck. The cards at the end of each deck came out to 11113 and 11216, or 9 actually. Excuse me. The Twin Flame group hanging out in the Tower of the Sun. Co-creating and transition of justice around the world with love in that 698 pod. The number 216 and 219 I looked up in Gematria to see what comes up. So in 216, Tesla was the first entry, along with Sandra, Blessed, Dubai, Picasso, Original, Airplane, Green, Link, and the word Ha, H-A, 24 times. And 24 is the Queen of Wands, also Omega. Number 219 came up as I don't know if that's Ford. I don't know. You'll have to look up that again. I am sorry I didn't write it clearly. The first one, it looks like Ford, but I'm not positive. The second is California, then Order, Simon, Buddha, and List, L-I-S-T. Co-creating death and rebirth for a new perspective of love. At 851, which is the Strength card, and the 51 of the King of Swords, the underlying energy here is the 26 of the Plane, and then of Finances, the 23 of Dolphins, and the 44 of the Rings of Time, and then the 8 of Cups reversed, which is also the number 48. The Page of Wands taking off here for 30 pieces of silver, the King of Wands and the Dolphin Sonics from Lemuria and Atlantis as the Page of Wands and King of Wands, and Finances here, Rings of Time and her harvest, having trouble having gratitude for what they've got, bored, unable to receive love, uncomfortable with their emotions, when just needing to walk away and then go within. So the Wish 35 and the 16 Lion comes up with the 10 of Fire and the 15 Key, the 20 of Marriage and the 26 of the Plane, and the Wounded Warrior getting their wish, as the heart is activated in a sudden longing in the Lion's roar, the burning of the cross, the sudden pyra, the destiny to find the Skeleton Key, as the Lion's gate through the fire to gain the Master Key, the wake-up call to marriage and honeymoon also coming up here. 31 of Thorns, the 24 of Patience, the 17 of Love, as taking off. All right, hopefully the battery's not going to die on me here. It is plugged in. Okay, so we have the 31 of Thorns, 24 Patience, 17 of Love, taking off through the thorns, or thorn birds, to the crown of the Queen of Wands, Omega, the hourglass inside infinity with patience for dreams of love. The 36 of the world, and around the world in AD days of 2023 years, in fact, the underlying energy of the spouse at 1038, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Cups, of trust and faith, of Asia and finances, his wife, Lady Liberty, without their flame in their hand and missing a wing. There is the sun here at her left back, but something is not right with that. Asia Minor, a child of God, dressed up as a mother, as Buddha looks down. Judas pays Jesus back, but what else has been going on behind Mary's back? Her left shoulder is covered, but not her right. Bought and paid for, but that's not right. As pennies from heaven come out of nowhere, to the dolphins and Hercules, as Atlas was the map of AD, or after death, or was that aiding and abetting? Paid off in Reese's Pieces and Mr. Magoo. With biblical scribe or writer energies by candlelight, the wisdom of the white horse, whose horn you can't see, sending blessings. The biblical here is coming up as the carpenter, the horny kind, and the scribe or writer by candlelight as describing time and pace. And then the wisdom of the white horse, whose horn you can't see, sending blessings to you, M.E. No ass. That's his cousin, you see. Native American, alfalfa in Spanky's tent, keeping the girls out with a sign, no girls allowed, maybe no curls allowed as well. Asia hired kids and took over the carpenter's wood. Elite media overshadows our artistic words, and the man said that fairy tales are not real, and yet people lived in the woods with holes in the mountains for centuries. And princes sweep poor little girls off their feet, and men kneel and give diamonds, as diamonds are forever and ever in Never Never Land and sea. Jesus a carpenter, Shakespeare a scribe, and unicorns with horns at their third eye, drilling the scribe on their timetables before the stallion whose horn you can see returns as the stall lion, together to their TP to guard Lionsgate, and they're late for a very important date. So that's interesting, because we have King Kong and the lion coming together in my meditation just before we started. So we have at 11:01, the underlying energy of the 42 of the Two of Cups, and Lord Kamika, Archangel Metatron, and this energy of 2 cups and a flame, the 27 of the Ace of Wands, and the 37 of Paul the Venetian, 44 El Moria, and 23 of the Dolphins. And then number 23, I was guided to look that up from the Dolphins. So Jeff Wilson came up, number 23 of Miami. The 2 of Cups in the 8th ray, and Topaz, working with Metatron as the Ace of Wands in golden orange, Master Paul, 3rd ray, and the King of Cups with Flame of Liberty to create beauty. El Moria, the 1st ray of action, the Manu, the perfected man, and Hercules, her harvest, of the Lambda Father, more people. And the King of Wands, Aquamarine, apparently Jeff Wilson, number 23 Dolphin, comes up here as well. Perhaps connecting with the Dolphin wisdom at 11:11. So that was a plug for Jeff Wilson, actually. 2 flames as the King of Cups, Hercules, and the King of Wands, or Mary Magdalene between Peter and Jesus, as in the Last Supper. With the air card, number 12, water is 15, and Saint Germain is 34, and that's all I need, say the Dolphins. As unicorns and Poseidon, of wisdom and shadow of emotion, misty emotions of Saint Germain, alchemizing with violet light to create miracles here. The 9 of the cosmic heart, and the 6 of the Mahatma energy. Of Venus, 9D, Mother Mary and the unicorns, with 12 rays of Christ, Buddha light, and the golden white footsteps wherever you go. It's all about the collective and the cosmic hearts. And then Venus came up later in today's read as well today. That was significant. So that 9D energy is really being pulled down. So vapor comes up there, which is also Eden in alchemy, with Dolphins and Saint Germain being asked to pull in Mother Mary and Dolphin 9D energy to ground in. At 11:27, which is aligning with the Ace of Wands in the Queen's Gambit, the underlying energy of the Earth Angel 54 and the 44 of Rings of Time. After the 42 of the Two of Cups, 1-1, and the Blood Dance of Venus, and the 17th of her Shining Grace, Mary, and the Page of Swords of God's mercurial messengers blanketing the old harvest. Wow. So there's that pulling up the blanket that I just saw as well. So mercurial messengers blanketing the old harvest. So that was coming up as the masculine and the feminine, as the birds and the dogs. The time to get up. Mother Mary sends the Page of Swords to the cave for the old. Perhaps Ea, and Ruth, and again referencing Earth, Ea and Ruth, to go talk to Thoth here, which is all, Thoth is Thoth, which is to the nth degree, and to the nth degree of the gates around the human embodiment of Source. Mother is urging the young and the restless to meet and exchange perspectives, or a child to the old age home, or someone going to Florida, or snowbirds fly, uncomfortable about conditions, or no air conditioning, perhaps. As the 14 of the falling light as a feather, the 70 of heaven, and 65 of the breaking, the patient angel, falling light as a feather, as heaven is projected in a cloud-like ray, 2 by 2 performers in the breaking of the shrew, of a curse, as she arches, her heart open wide, to catch his fall, as the King of Pentacles to break in the fall and be witnessed by all. As the 68 Page of Pentacles, the student drops into their heart, folds in upon themselves. And notice the 8th, 3rd, and 1st rays all came up here, which equals 12 altogether. At 11:42 is the alignment of the Two of Cups, the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, as Hercules and the angels are partnering in heaven on earth at a theater near you, perhaps your own backyard. At 11:44, the underlying energy is about dreams coming true, present in the moment, to the Ace of Cups received from the King of Cups reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, leaving to find peace, to recover the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, both upright, unexpectedly coming together, as the Queen of Swords speaks to the wounded warrior, or the Emperor is guarded to what she said or approved. As the Emperor received new passion, project, or a device, unaware it would cost them dearly or cause them to be laid up. Not sleeping, stressed, or suffering in silence, defenseless to the energies or group attacks. Frequent events, drama, or occurrences, or after a sudden event, starting over from scratch. As the Two of Pentacles reversed, perhaps someone tripped up or couldn't keep up the daily routine, and given a choice to get on the same page. The Two of Cups face to face to make sure that they're satisfied with what they get. As the Knight of Pentacles offers help to the King of Wands reversed, and the King of Pentacles, who had a falling out in the past due to lack of integrity perhaps, or a secret passion, and the Queen of Wands reversed with issues at work or a procedure, perhaps up early or deceived, or the last new moon hanging out to see another way. Implementing a plan to tame the beast and be strong, in a break with the establishment, a religion or marriage, and Taurus reversed with the Page of Cups upright, messaging love under the radar, or a kind message, but it failed, and needing to come in right away, or Cancer Queen of Cups, in the bliss of sharing, but being taken down in the process, or chased away, laying the hammer down, so to speak, or now afraid to go under the knife, because those who cut you don't have to live with the consequences, or ambulance chasers and those who use their words to cut others down, make them afraid or cause them to run. Perhaps a Gemini here who loves to prove others wrong, or a lover Knight of Cups offering love to a judge, Justice, or Libra, or Gemini may be kissing the judge's ass, or representing themselves, or Magician upright, and the King of Swords reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed, having had a negative experience, with their world upside down, or still needing closure, or closing arguments, working nonstop, or chipping away until done. As the Devil is reversed, detoxing, release with Patient Angel or Sagittarius upright, and the Page of Wands reversed with the 9 of Pentacles sovereign, in a losing battle with the 4 of Cups reversed, or an unstable home, perhaps last rites and now needing to step it up. or forward with any reason why, or forever hold your peace in separation or heartbreak, in uncomfortable emotions of not having walked away. Then the energy of uncomfortable with the Judgment card reversed. Uncomfortable staying and holding back announcements or calls, or choked up, needing to swallow their pride, grieving a negative exchange or delays or poor results, or because they weren't told about multiple visits or surgeries, perhaps at 12:34, which is that 1, 2, 3, 4, close the door. Also hanging out in energetic exchange, or just a lot of back and forth. So after poor decisions or being judgmental, grieving and blocked from the 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups, both upright here, good care for the family, destined to school the golden goose for talking, as Aquarius reversed and Libra upright, are burdened by exposure or working out in the sun, or perhaps a working vacation and slaving for the man, perhaps expected to keep quiet about any offers of money or incentives, or big lawsuits to pay those with dementia due to poisoning, or seeing things, or families who have to collect data because of the big institutions, or getting pregnant, and again the FDA not doing their due diligence. So there's a lot about medical stuff coming up here in this message at 12:53. The Hermit reverse is coming out with synchronicities, perhaps to a spouse or a mother, or working hard to pay off those with adverse events, or families having to pay for nursing facilities, dementia, Alzheimer's, or with delusions of grandeur. As Leo is upright, Taurus is upright, and Virgo reversed, perhaps bad doctors not taking responsibility for wrongdoing, adverse events, or not having disclosed what could have gone wrong, or elders uncomfortable and unable to speak for themselves, saddened without bridging and blocking from the positive aspects of family life, or blackballed for getting caught making a bad call. Big brothers, the institution, the establishment, and families with money, with all the advantages, working hard and playing hard, unable to pay or give time, money, or effort to those losing their minds or going crazy trying to pick something out for an empress or a woman who has everything at 107, which is the Magician and the Chariot. So I was just woke up, got out of bed, dragged a chrome across my head. Oh, that's interesting. I heard the news today. Oh boy. I don't know what the news today is. So maybe paying too much attention to the news right now and getting that negative energy. So watch out for that. Be aware and neutral. Try not to watch, a lot of negativity, because it's just going to pull your energy down. There's definitely this an ending of an era. There's definitely some old businesses that have been around forever that are going out of business. So again, the old is sloughing away for the new to come in. And definitely, it's summertime. There's a lot of celebrations, parties, weddings, all that kind of thing are also coming up. Yeah. All right, so let's get into this second message here. All right, so this one starts with the Fortune's Oracle as well. We have the Journey of Love, and then we have the Shaman deck, and then Nature's Whispers at the bottom. And again, same setup. So this was done today. And let's see here. These were pulled at 11:09 to 11:12. So Fortune's Oracle was 09, which is the Hermit. The Journey of Love at 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. The Shaman deck at 11:11. And then Nature's Whispers at 11:12. The decks at the end of each, or the cards at the end of each deck were 1111, which has been coming up a lot, which again, the first entry in Gematria for 1111 is Twin Flames. The other number that came up here was 3442. The energy of just before, like the 4 just before the 5, the soaring of 4 to 1, 4 to 1, which is that lambda leap energy. But also the number 4 is the L and the 1 twice, which is LL, which is 50 and 50, which is 100, and then 1, 1, which is 11. So 111, and 1, 1, 1 is co-creation. So that's coming up along with the 51 plus 1, which is the 52 of the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, co-creating. The twin flames, arrows of love, 1 to 1, and the 1111 gate of the heartbeat. The 3, which is coming up, is the evening of the heartbeat, right? So the diastolic energy of the 3 soaring horizontally into the 44, which is the lambda leap to the peak of the heartbeat, and then down again to the 1, and then evening out again in the lambda leap by 2, and then evening out again with the number 2, because the word Eve also means 3 and 2. It starts out with the 3 of the bird soaring across, and then to the 2, which also is the Q of the Queen. Through the atrium to the vent. The Rium, R-I-U-M, means to me and with me. And remember, in Aquarius, Rius means laughter. So the doorway to me and with me, or to laugh at me or with me, to let off a little steam or vent, to breathe out, let it all go in one big push. Receiving from the vein and the arteries giving, going down the slide and climbing back up again. Whee! And then time to ground and integrate on the way back. Some exercise in knowing you can do it by yourself, and laughing all the way. With Aquarius, waterworks, and the emotion of laughter. Laughing so hard that you cry in the end. A reset. To re-see at the crossroads, where all roads lead home, as in that sun energy, right? This is the all roads lead home to the center. So any lines you draw are going to lead to the same place. Unless you get in your head and get it all jumbled up in quantum entanglement, off center when crossing paths. Protected, which was coming up to break down as pro Tech and TED came up, but again, being a pro at the intersection of EC and the intersection of ED. So EC and ED come up as the 1 equal and congruent to the whispering bench, and 1 equal and congruent to divine co-creation. Also, extra C and extra D may be coming up for vitamins, which I do take C and D every day, in the energetic exchange with the CD, which is the candela, or measure of luminous intensity, or of course the compact disc, which then again, the compact disc looks like that. Okay? So the compact disc is a tiny record, or 45, a CD. A history of your sorrows, whether they were big, medium, as I was losing my voice there, in your history of sorrows, whether big, medium, or autopilot, compact disc, piloting your own ship of luminous intensity. At 11:39, aligning with the Knight of Cups in the underlying energy of the 19 and luck, the 38 of the pearl threaded, the 21 of the first breath, and the first being broken down into F of the digamma, IR path, so IR references a medical section, but also not saying I am, but IR, I am more than one person. The IR path as opposed to I am, where the M is co-creation, as well as 111, and the R then equals the P of the pin in the pod, reaching out to others. With luck, L-U-C-K, the L of the lambda, U-C, and the Holy Grail, the Holy Communion of energy and luck, of Lucy and luck, where Lucy is the Y in the road that creates a new direction, or Lucy in the sky with diamonds, as the lambda sine wave co-creation. 2 eyes creating a third, 2 worlds creating a bridge, and the 41 of to be in service, the Sun, the Queen of Cups, the World, and the Ace of Cups. As the Sun activates the Queen of Cups, the world, or Mother Nature, activates the Holy Grail, the tunneling through the Queen of Cupses, and the pearl threaded through and through. Multiple Queen of Cups, like the domino effect, the suspended animation, one right after the other, and yet at the same time. Sending a message and creating a bridge, the 4-leaf clover, or fan made of hearts, spiraling around and around, spinning their wheels until they meet up with the one spinning in the opposite direction, causing liftoff, a portal for others to walk through, a hovering door. When the two sets of chromosomes, or two four-leaf clovers, or two flowers align perfectly, in the center they then cross. So I'm going to show you the drawing that I did real quick, which then the ear comes up as well. But all right, so we're talking about the four-leaf clover, and you see how the four-leaf clover is the heart just becoming the two loops of the chromosome, which looks like an 8, you know, two 8s crossing each other, and here's two sets of those, okay? So it's the two clovers is the same as these chromosomes, which look like flowers, okay? So you get the gist of the visual there. So the two four-leaf clovers and the two flowers align perfectly in the center cross, and you see that there was a cross in the middle. It's like they lock into place at this center cross, the crossroads, and yet the wheels, or those hearts or chromosomes, act independently still, moving in opposite directions, and yet towards the same point, just like a hover engine, just like in the Avatar movie, you see the huge hover engines there. The way that the cells split, coming back together to the point where they would separate. So it's again like breaking something down and rebuilding it. So going backwards in a cell splitting and then stopping at the place where they would separate but are still together. It's like taking apart spaceships to duplicate without destroying the integrity of the first, keeping it intact, but perhaps in a spaceship there is one or maybe two pieces that you can't duplicate because you don't have the technology. So they share that one or two pieces to act independently otherwise than that. Now the inner ear comes up here too, which creates balance and harmony, but there was something that came up in a show that somebody said, that the inner ear is the only place in the body that doesn't regenerate cells. You know how, after a year you've basically recreated your body because your cells keep duplicating and sloughing off, but not in the inner ear. The inner ear always remembers what it hears. It stays in its original form while the rest of your body always regenerates. And then I was looking that up to see what else I could find about that, because just what I heard in this show, it wasn't a movie, it was a documentary, and just happens to be one of the patients said something about that, and I found that very interesting. So I looked up the inner ear and trying to find that, and I came across an article right away called Calcite Microcrystals in the Pineal Gland of the Human Brain, first physical and chemical studies. And the first author was Simon Baconier, Baconier. And it was very interesting because I always pull from my Crystal Stones deck, it's Crystal Angels. I always pull a card in the morning just to see what stone comes up for myself. And this morning, the first card that came up was Apatite, and then Ruby, and then Moonstone, and then Calcite. And I looked at the first 4 cards. So in this article, which has nothing to do with me pulling my cards this morning, it's called Calcite Microcrystals. I wasn't looking up calcite in the pineal gland of the human brain. Again, first physical and chemical studies. So there's a different kind of crystallization that only occurs in the pineal gland, and it says in the article literally that it only occurs in the inner ear and the pineal gland. Okay, so a less than 20 micron, completely distinct from other observed mulberry type hydroxyapatite concretions. Okay, so here's apatite coming up as well. Cubic, hexagonal, cylindrical morphologies ID'd using scanning electron microscopy. Sharp edges and rough surfaces were seen, and it's made of calcium, carbon, and oxygen only. Crystals of calcite, with the exception of the Otoconia structure of the inner ear. It's the only non-pathological occurrence of calcite in the human body, so those two areas, probably responsible for previously observed second harmonic generation in the pineal tissue sections. Studies directed towards the elucidation of formation and functions and possible non-thermal interaction with external electromagnetic fields were, of course, currently in progress. And this was written back in 2002. It's not something new. So I found that very interesting since the inner ear had come up because of the incus bone this week. So we're really focusing in on the ear now and our connections to the etheric realms through the ear and the pineal gland. So it's not just the pineal gland, it's this energy in the ear as well that has that same calcite or that same growth of crystals. And it's interesting too because they're talking about external electromagnetic fields, and that's partially right, but what they're not getting is the internal connection, not the external connection to the electromagnetic fields. So at 1239 is the Hanging Man and the Knight of Cups, and the airlock of 2 4-leaf clovers, or 2 hearts with 4 chambers. And the tunneling through each Queen of Cups to create a bridging effect. The internal nadis, or those energy waves of the heart, and again, they look like nerve waves, the nerve cells replicate the energy waves, so just mimicking of the physical and energetic bodies. But the internal nadis were coming up of the heart and ovaries, but only the pineal and the utricle or the otoconia in the inner ear have this calcite along with the pineal. But I was still getting them connected to the Stargate energy of the heart, and again, of course, the ovaries where the child is made. The incus, which is also the anvil bone, transmits the vibrations from the malleus to the staples bones. The malleus is considered the hammer, and the staples is the stirrup. And then the incus is the one that takes the vibration from one to the other and then into the inner ear. The vibrations then move to the inner ear. So spinning hearts lock here, and they lock at that center cross, but they keep spinning independently. And then the pearls connect. The digamma energy of not IM but IR path that were more than one in the breath, which breath is B, wreath, which is the REATH of heart, earth, terra, and ether. The beginner's mind, the whole. By the way, some of that ear stuff was coming from verywellhealth.com. The beginner's mind, whole, Leo and Pisces, and Pisces, and the Holy Grail, the hole at the Y in the road, and God's rail, which is that tunneling effect. The Lion's Gate tunneling to the other side. Of underlying energy of marriage here, of number 20, the 30 of Sun, 18 of Lovers, and 19 of Luck. A wake-up call to glasses being greater than half full. Attracting unconditional love with sunshine, union, home, celebrations, and romance and lovers, the moon and the sun. With Aquarius, Leo, and Gemini and Cancer here, with Leo and Aquarius, which are each other's axis, and the Gemini and Cancer's entry into Leo. The home of the sun and the moon, the sun and the daughter, the sunflowers and the 4-leaf clovers, over and over, which is O, the human embodiment of Source, and Ver, which is distant or far, human or cousin, to see what's real, true, and truth. The human cover or clothes, as I was just seeing, the bird trying to pull the covers up. The human cover or clothes, the worm to strike, pant mill, a husband, a man, drawing a line in the water, the sea, the ocean, the dam, to protect. So again, that word protection's coming up. Landing space for a boat or a safe place, a safe harbor, an oasis of growth or hatching, a pocket. To be the stem, the spring, or the blood. To know, understand, and to visit, spot, or observe. To see one another. To give priority, or perhaps put out. Energized by the home, the romantic daughter, and the lucky son, or a coming together for a wedding, or just home. So the next card that came up, number 1, was the 35 and Wish, the 15 of the Key, the 12 of the Fool. As the wounded warrior's heart glows, as desire is ready, their desire is ready to come true here. With the heart open, an open book, the lucky star and Madonna, and the lucky 4 chambers of the reflecting gamma rays, holding both parts, the masculine and the feminine, the skeleton master key, the shadow key, into the ear, the cave, in the sun, surrendering. And it was very interesting too, because when I was at the beach yesterday, I always kind of do a baptism in the ocean when I'm there as I'm healing, doing some healing energy work as well. And yesterday, which I don't normally do, is I splashed water into my ears, which I hadn't done that information yet, but I just happened to do that yesterday. So the hanging man and the fool, man and best friend taking in the view, before the 27 of the Queen's Gambit, the proposal, and the Vesica Pisces, the Q7, the hovering propeller of 2 hearts as one, in the airlock, the proposal of flame, ignition, as the angels sing, wings wide open. And now everyone together now, it's like the conductor saying, now everyone together, one for all and all for one. We are the world. We are the divine feminine and the divine masculine children, a divine orchestration of Seraphim and Elohim, of the evening of Sarah and Seraphim, to absorb, borrow, copy, the illusion of water, the mirage, and the seraph with an H is the 6-winged angel, the conductor. And backwards, Seraphim is the MIH, pairs, P-A-R-E-S, to mix, dig, or mold pairs, to smell, or friends, a whole, a cooking pot, or my whole, and the Elohim. So it's the conductor and the electric light orchestra. The hymn. So my whole, my horsepower, Aries, my H strong pairs or lion pairs, my whole, the electric light orchestra hymn, and my H lion pairs. So H is the 8, which is the lion pairs. Absorb, copy, or take in the water illusion of emotion, the hymn, the song. The orchestrating a grand airlock where all hands come together, which is still this, like a clock, when all hands come together. So if all time comes together on the clock, it would look like that. The evening in of Sarah and Seraphim, but Sarah is also the film or the movie or the 2-eyed needle. Oh, excuse me, the film, P-H-I-M is that. The ELO to him, the electric light, oh, I am. And then the evening out again. The heartbeat staying in with a movie or needle and thread to become inspired and then go out instead. The back and forth of even and odd, of stability and freedom, of 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, and 9 to end things and lay them straight. She is the higher self angel and he the collective all. She gathers all the energy from the multiverse and he brings in the chorus of the collective on earth. At 213, which is the higher self and the death card, transition, the 35 of intimacy, of in Tim, a C, the top dog I am, in Tim, T I am, top dog I am, a C, as in the G, that there is a C and a T in the letter G, the whispering bench, the arc, the leap, the bridge, the rainbow, the ship in the ocean, the Christed human to source, the Christosophia, where CH is the hyperbolic cosine, also Ia and HP, which is Ia and horsepower, of course, Mr. Ed, with Risto, which means Christo or Christopher, and Rist, R-I-S-T, means crossing, clubs, cross, instep, mesh, crossroads, grid, great, and ultimately it means the risen, one who has already risen. The hyperbolic, hyperbole of the inner child, the cosine of Ia and horsepower of Mr. Ed, combined for the risen human of source embodiment, So phi with connections, drawing outside the lines, and all of that's Christos Sophia. At 222, room 222 is a guidance counselor show. There is a C in every G with T, in every ocean, emotion. In source we see. Only then is the G. Otherwise T would just be a dead end. The 55 of acceptance, 37 of fire and ice. The digamma IR of one equal and congruent to, and the inner child, one equal and congruent. The truth of the tale, when the fives match up, to accept once is the truth. So in order to, if you accept something once, it then becomes the truth. The three keys of alchemy and unconditional love. The truth and Excalibur and the King of Cups. The truth in the forest and the King of Cups in the vortex. The vortex is the forward, away, and escape route. The ford, spoiled or dirty and rotten. Through the X's here, the caliber and gauge, the diameter of the bore, measured between opposite lands, the compass of the mind, the magnitude or degree of importance, adjusting to being balanced again. As the escape route aligns with the same size bore or degree of magnitude or degree of centeredness, the 11 of alignment to the eruption of light in the vortex, when the orangutan, which is the forest man or the tan man with the orange crown, like Tarzan, accepts the forest through the trees, a magical parting of the trees occurs, like the parting of the seas, stepping into alignment with the pearl threaded, connecting to the all. And I have to show you these two cards. Because there are some really intense energies between those two. If they're still on top, let's see here. Where are you? Yes, these two. Okay, so these two came up with some others into this message, but you see how, you know, this is the connecting in the vortex, and it kind of gives you that energy too of the two-eyed needle. But again, each one of these is the pearl, right? So this is creating the vortex, is creating that hole between each pearl so that they can each connect, right? So universally being connected at this vortex. So it's really cool how they came up next to each other. So it's the eruption of the Hieros Gamos energy when you're hitting that alignment where the crosses of the four-leaf clovers connect and then they lock in those crosses, but yet the wheels still remain independent, going in opposite directions. So it's in line with those same energies. So as we go on, the 11 and the 38 at 238, and again 11 reduces to 2, so the cards 11 and 38 were coming up right at 238, finding that just right frequency to tune in to the all of clovers and calla lilies, of hearts and ovaries, of the lotus eye and the rabbit ears, the two ears of corn or the horn, and the pineal, right? The pie of any and all. And then it was coming up as two ears were coming up as a message with bi ears, B-I, and then E-A-R-S, which is beautiful without you, the Holy Grail, but also needing to laugh and awaken, the box of B, hugs and kisses, the B-I-E of water, to be, stay, and await, of life to give, to fall off, tumble, and flop. I bring, deliver, and persuade. So the B-I-E and the A-R-S of this word is to deliver art, skill, trade, or fraud, but ass, or area of knowledge. It really doesn't matter what knowledge it is. Scorched or burnt, and it was coming up as burnt water, right, which is then again the balance in the middle between fire and ice. To join what's fitting or right for yourself. So this word of by ears is to be joined in whatever skill you have, what's fitting or right for you. And then the tours also came up, which is a glass marble game in children's game that's larger and more valuable than the oneer. A conker that has won 2 matches from the horse chestnut tree. So the Queen of Cups comes up here as the underlying energy, and then the first card out is the 30 of towering magnificence, the 4 of simplicity, the 67 of the swan, the home, the emperor, and the knight of pentacles, the union of surrender of the lambda leap and simplicity, the union of surrender of the sun and the pearls threaded, as all clears with the emperor and the knight of pentacles from 4 to 6, 7, which is the sweet spot of lambda leap and spiral boomerang, the vertical and horizontal spin, the simple and direct mouse, and the beautiful swan. As we go into 53 of the Knight of Swords and Legacy of Light, which is very much JC's energy, and the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles coming together in the Golden Gates with the Messenger of Truth and Love Light spiraling together in the heart, hitting the presses, the Conductor and the All, one for all and all for one, AWL for one, which is the Whole Maker, the Whole with the W and the Whole without the W, of the 41, which then is Mary Magdalene coming up here with JC, in Knowing Without Knowing, Hercules, the Holy Grail, to the 24 of Omega, the Queen of Wands, so the Queen of Cups to the Queen of Wands, and the spaces between the words of JC, which is also the toroidal field. Okay, so JC is the toroidal field with an angle, has a direction to it. And her heart, Mary Magdalene. So JC is with her heart here, and Mary Magdalene with his crown, the feminine ego of Omega, Om and Ega, and the 24th pair that she's worked very hard to expose in the spaces between the words, with L, or Lamb to Father, worlds. At 312, which is the Empress and the Hanging Man, the underlying energy of the mindful group think of the 40, which is the Page of Cups, innocent, the Sky Dancers 48, the 34 Lay of the Land, and the 25 of the Knight of Wands, the 44 Perfect Storm, and the 47 Sky Bridge, the 21 of the First Breath. So the Page of Cups, innocent, to go within and surrender, where their hearts meet, the land, or the sky and then the land, in the energetic exchange with the King of the Hill, and Uluru came up here specifically, in the Garden of Venus with the Knight of Wands in rest and renewal, for her harvest, the Raven, Peacock, Eagle, number 44. Don't underestimate the bird's ability to build a nest or bridge. The Page of Cups and Knight of Wands in perfect storm, to bridge 4 to 7 in the sweet spot of 2 towers, of bunny ears, falling into alignment, 2 ears and a bright eye, turn around, possibly for union and total eclipse of the heart, with angel realms 444 and 7, the boomerang, as the ravenous show-off perched, with eagle-eye view of the mountain meeting Mohammed by filling in the gap between, a new world and first breath of beginner's mind, and the 21 to 1 world, getting to the top with a shout-out, waving down a new plane of existence, from a Venus vortex and sister's first breath, remember that Earth and Venus are considered twins, in bridging the gap of Earth between Venus and Mars, and the eyes of Laura Mars, and total eclipse of the sun, as Earth and Venus get in the way of Mars's view of the sun. So there is an eclipse coming up here. And also, right after I wrote that, Teddy was kind of bugging me, you know. He kept coming up to me, just staring at me. And he had been fed, he had just been walked and everything. I knew there was nothing wrong. So I got up to look out the window to see what he was seeing. And there was nothing out there. But that's the point. It was very still. There were no animals walking around. And he was noticing this energy. So, and again, conjunctions is that kind of energy, right? Everything has gathered into the oneness. So on July 27th, we just had a conjunction between Mercury and Venus. And remember, July 1st was Venus and Mars. And then I told you they were splitting as they went on. And then on August 13th, which is also the main day of the boomerang effect from the Philadelphia experiment, that's a Mercury-Mars conjunction. which is communication and action. And again, the Philadelphia experiment involved with that. That's at 3:02 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 7:02, which is the time we started this video, GMT. Both are in the Leo energy, high in the sky. Look for it in the evening, about 1 hour after sunset. Versus that same day, August 13th, the sun is very close to Venus. So this is pairing up the sun and Venus and Mercury and Mars. Okay? If Venus is our twin planet, then Earth to Venus is the combination we're talking about for the twins, not the Venus and Mars, not the Venus-Mars connect. As Mars and Mercury are conjunct, there's red hot irons here on the 13th, as Mercury is quick and Mars is aggressive, and there could be some snapping out here, or quick to speak. Those who are quick to speak may get a whack. The 15th to the 16th is the new moon energies. So mid-moon here, which is an ideal energy, is right on Lionsgate here from 8/8 to 8/9, and about 4 days on either side is August 4th to the 13th. Again, the 13th coming up. Then we have the 19, 60, and 59 cards of the Falling Angel, the Watchers, and the Wailing Tree. The big breath of Pisces leap to go under the water, and then another Leo leap to the desert totems, who are, and the starving trees here. So they're really dried out. So so the Pisces energy is dumping into the water. And then remember we had King Kong and the lion as the watchers. So it's very interesting the way that's coming up. So one is jumping into the water, the other is falling from the sky into the desert. The falling angel is seen in this bright sun as peaceful Taion, which is the tiger lioness totems, watch. It's not personal. They're just being neutral witnesses. To witness the moment before the totem, they know, because they're the totem already, that the moment before becoming the totem is the Wailing Tree reconciliations. Trapped in the family tree that is dying or aging off. As the new angels come in at 4:48, which is that 448 energy of the Four of Cups, or Hercules energy, but also is the Four of the Emperor and the Eight of Cups of walking away within. So Pisces and Virgo on either end here, where Pisces is coming up as the beginner or fresh perspective mind, and Virgo is dancing on one foot in a balancing act as to not tip the scales. As Pisces changes perspective and Leo falls to wake, and another ties one on from 59 to 60, wanting to turn back time, or their time in the sun, but needing more green of the hermit green moth after deserted or having been hung out to dry, after Pisces held their breath for Leo to fall, very dry and hot until Virgo season to tip the scales back and get healthy again. The 27 of the heart home and the new flame as the Queen's Gambit, the Vesica Pisces, the holy water of compassion. The 38 and 61 of the many masks of the authentic self of the Queen of Cups and her whale song. 61, which is the risk card. The Hermit with a fiery heart and the Queen of Cups' whale song, resonating. And then 927 specifically was coming up for me here. I definitely have a connection to that, but that may be a message for some of you as well. Pisces, Leo, Virgo, or watery energy in August. And shared seas. As August 13th is a very significant date, and El Conquistador came up there, and the taming of the bull. So the running of the bulls, I guess, is usually July 7th to the 14th, around there. But here it was coming up as now the taming of the bulls. After that, the underlying energy at 5:08, which is Grease lightning, by the way, 5 and 8 together, because 5 is freedom and 8 is power. The 49 of the 9 of Cups and getting your wish, to heighten your vitality with the 5, clearing out the old, the 18 of new experiences, and the 7 of amplifying your positive emotions, the 27 of maintaining your childlike spirit, and 35 of the culmination of vision, the 4 of being in service. To get your wish by showing your true colors, your bright colors, to clear out the old, to be free for romance, perhaps some flowers. Cancer and little chariot to ripple out amongst the mighty sentinels, inspired by holy water, the queen's pawn, taking the dog for a walk, right? Where the dog is then your pawn. After the Hierophant's full moon, the master of the hidden house, from pond ripples to frozen flame, or jumping across instead, or swinging across instead. As the 35 wounded warrior's vision is done, it's time to jump in the water and be in service to the Holy One, the holy water, the ocean, the Queen's Gambit, Vesica Pisces, the shared seas, or water or emotional energy, the Holy Grail where the river runs through it, always returning to the water for replenishment. With 36 intuition, the 6 of the big picture, and 45 of empowerment at 520, which is the Hierophant, but also freedom, change, and expansion, as the first breath. So take a first breath and then go underwater, and then come up to charge your thinking cap in the sun. With a map of intent, then supercharged, after a new passion then surrenders to new love, Atlas beams, and the lovers with the big picture heal the root to flower the crown, purging and rest to release and reset. The 42 of the 1-to-1, let love be your beacon, as the 29 of contemplation present to gifts, what ifs, of butterflies and lions or beasts. Dorothy's Lionheart seeking courage, and to Scarecrow JC for a brain. Now only if Tin Man could get a heart, now wouldn't that be something? Lucy, left at a right angle, you see, at the Y in the road, but they never actually caught which path they took. It's like they just disappeared for a while. E.T. phone home to Central Sun with map of intent and skeleton key, the master's simplicity of peace in the tie-on, the tiger-lioness connection, the tiger-lioness lovers of the Fool and the Hanging Man, the Swan Knight of Pentacles in the moment before, the 11th hour with an old 45, the 27 of the Queen's Gambit, proposal of the Knight of Swords with a legacy of the Hermit 1-to-1, the Angel and the Abundance, or Divine Feminine and Masculine as Mary Magdalene and the space between, the 27 of the Heart Home of the Queen of Cups, coming together with Whale's Song, with a gift and a present in the moment, or with a gift and being present in the moment. And there you go. The blast off to become the bright light, and the goddess personification comes up as well here. Okay, so now we go back to the read on the table. Oh, by the way, this is important too. So there's a is it called The Bleeding Edge? There's a documentary on Netflix right now about medical device companies and stuff like that, which I'm very familiar with because I was a research coordinator for 25 years. So again, don't get any cobalt hips because there's been a lot of adverse events regarding toxicity, causing issues in their whole body and their brain, very significant. And also Essure plugs for your fallopian tubes. There was major problems with those too, which they're not going to let you know about because they always try to minimize their, because they'll say that, first of all, you have to be consented to all adverse events that they know about if you're getting something that's new or anything actually. But, if you see there's a 1% complication rate, it seems like nothing, but if you're the one of, if you're, depending on how many people, get the device or the drug, same type of thing, 1% could be very few people if it's a small study, but if it's a big study that lots of people have received already, then 1% could be, quite a lot of people. So it's all in the perspective. And are you willing to take that risk? That's why the risks are supposed to be posed to you, knowing that there could be something very hazardous that could happen to you, and is that what you want? Do you want to take that risk? So again, advocate for yourself. And there's definitely times where those kind of things are downplayed, or someone doesn't get consented. It may say it in the consent, but perhaps they didn't read through the whole thing because they have trouble reading the consent because they weren't well, and it wasn't completely explained, which it's supposed to be. So just know that. All right, so here we have the message on the table. This was cut at 10:08 on the 30th, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the 8 of the Strength card, and I finished clarifying at 10:23, which is the Wheel, and the 23 of the King of Wands, which is this year. The major arcana was Justice, Abundance, which is the Empress in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, the Wheel, the Great Wheel, the Higher Self, which is the High Priestess, Ascension, which is the World, and the Chariot. Before the read, the Tower card came up, and after the read, the Lovers and the Strength cards came up. There was 1 Pentacle, 3 Swords, 1 Wand, and the King of Pentacles was the main player in the read, and the Page of Cups was also there. Page of Cups is not till after the end, right there. And then we had double 2s, double 5s, and double 8s here. So again, that Greased Lightning is coming up along with the 22 of the Fool. 55 is the Ace of Swords Truth, and the 8-8 is the 2 twin flames, both dancing between their masculine and feminine already, waiting to come into that third 8, which is the infinity symbol of them being connected, which is coming up like the 2 4-leaf clovers coming together in the cross. They're aligning. So let's see here. We have, there were no numbers in the code line here. Just the message of the telepathic vision source of divine co-creation, 1 of 2 abundant DNA to the nth degree, the 2 humans in their knowing. But again, the googly eyes also come up there. The underlying energy of justice is the big card there with the mini cards on top. Beneath the Justice card is the 5 of Wands reversed, the 2 of Pentacles upright, the 4 of Swords upright, the Tower upright, and the 3 of Wands upright. In the losing battle of surrendering to all that is, at the beach in a sudden event, present to flame, a gift of divine justice, out in the cold and left behind, the High Priestess surrenders. As the Ace of Cups is reversed in overwhelm, or unhappy with themselves, as the King of Pentacles crown is suddenly blown wide open, dissatisfied with a big mess or sudden destruction of home, in sudden justice of Scorpio and Libra both upright here, and the recent past of the 7 of Swords upright passing downloads at night or at work, with the Knight of Pentacles upright offering help to the Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, as the Queen of Swords upright gets a present perhaps, or becomes present. The foundation here is the Ace of Swords reversed in a split or divide with the King of Swords and the 2 of Cups, with the Magician reversed, insecure, Emperor upright, sleeping with the Hierophant, or in bed with the All Boys Club. Or Virgo or Libra here, King of Swords, perhaps partnered with a manipulative Emperor, or 4 tools, right? So someone might have the know-how and the other one has the tools. Or Taurus or Hierophant sleeping upstairs, and the King of Swords maybe bunking with the Emperor in a split. The central energy is the King of Pentacles and the twin flame, or a choice that now the worst is over, detoxing the 3 of Cups reversed or drying out, on the road or ascending fast, challenged by the Empress upright, who's working hard on their dreams but finds it draining, or dealing with dysfunction. And now crowning is the Wheel reversed in a turn of events with the Sovereign, 9 of Pentacles, juggling or performing, but not in their favor. Withholding, saving, or playing hardball, and the Knight of Swords perhaps smacked it out of their hands, awake to their worth and moving ahead, as the Knight of Cups to offer love, the ball in their court. As the Knight of Cups to the Hermit reversed, laying all their cards on the table with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Cups reversed, perhaps things are not working out, perhaps draining the King of Wands who's upright. As Libra reversed, Pisces or Capricorn and Virgo reversed, Libra reversed, Leo reversed. Soon here's the Higher Self upright. After the Page of Pentacles reversed in a split of a dysfunctional family or taken down by their fears at 11:34, alignment with that energetic exchange or arrows of love, or perhaps constant delays, or not telling someone, or putting up blocks. As the Fool is upright and free from a heated exchange, or freed by dumping multiple loads and emotional attachments to being imprisoned by the Empress upright. With Pisces or Virgo and Aries and Taurus all upright, and the twin flames 8 of Wands reversed, perhaps not telling, or experiencing delays, or constant arguing. With the 10 of Cups upright, family ending conflict with the Knight of Wands and the separation and coming full circle to lead the way to justice of inequity held over the Knight of Wands. With Saggy, Pisces, and Libra upright here, around the twins or how they're seen is the Ascension card upright, the world of the 6 of Cups, of the inner children, loving children, losing patience with the Queen of Cups, defenseless to the energies, or exhausted without peace, as Pisces is upright, but Saggy and Scorpio are not. The block here is the Chariot upright, challenged by the Empress prior to. Mother Nature ascending fast, as the Page of Swords is uncomfortable stepping up to bat. With Pisces and Cancer upright, and the 2 of Swords reversed with new information, but then throwing them off balance, no longer comfortably numb. The sad Queen of Wands reversed with an announcement or wake-up call to the King of Wands upright, perhaps stressed out or suffering in silence, perhaps doing overtime without the luxury of time to themselves. The clarity to start over with the Page of Cups reversed, the vulnerable child, or a rejection of a lover or Gemini trapped, and that could be a entitled child as well, or a baby screaming, or the Gemini trapped or hiding in the woods with the 10 of Swords reversed. Now the worst is over. Or lovers' bliss out in the cold. As long as they have each other, they can get through anything. Starting over moving or a visit with lover or twin, forcing their hand to get lies out of them, or Leo pet or child having the truth beat out of them, but still being strong, birthing through Lionsgate to get to the Page of Wands reversed and the 6 of Cups upright at 11:51, which can reference Libra, King of Swords. The Page of Cups reversed to the Page of Wands reversed for a great big hug to make each other all better. Perhaps dissatisfied or arrogant King of Cups reversed in a losing battle, or perhaps he's just a sore loser, surrendering to all that is, on break or a rest, or at the beach, when suddenly present to Justice or Libra, or a sudden gift or epiphany of division, split, heated exchange, or delays in not telling. As the Divine Feminine, Pisces or Ascension world, or sudden split in a heated exchange, suddenly finished passing downloads, as the King of Pentacles is challenged by the Empress, the Mother or abundance of higher self in the Chariot. In a twist of fate and clarity, with Libra, Pisces, Taurus, and Virgo, Cancer, and Gemini all upright, but Libra reversed, Libra's both upright and reversed, of rejection and or vulnerability, of lover hiding bliss, of hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, birthing through Lionsgate with a rebel yell, the eye of the tiger, no fraidy cat, as all of a sudden, on the other side, the Page of Wands reversed, put the fire out to get a great big hug from the 6 of Cups. Justice of downloads and split with the King of Pentacles, challenged by the Empress in a twist of fate, in a heated exchange with the higher self, ascending chariots of fire and off the jetties, as the Page of Cups reversed is crying like a baby over lover trapped by bliss. The hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave in exile, pushing their way through to rebirth themselves and falling into the Page of Wands' reversed arms, making each other all better at 12:08. And that was the message. So there is this energy of finally coming together, reversed, and then correcting that reversal by just being happy, being back with each other again, that kind of energy. So let's pull from the animal deck. We'll pull from there. So we'll pull from here for the oracle cards, the animal deck. All right. close up the energies. This is 11444, which is the Angels Temperance card, that higher love, and the 44 of Hercules, of the 4 of Cups, of learning how to receive love, and it came right up. Okay, so we have the 2 tigers, so cute. The Ace of Spring, which is like the Ace of Wands, the flame. The White Tiger, a wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may have come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action and passionately pursue every possibility. And it's coming up with 2 more cards here that want to be seen, but let me show you the bottom of the deck first. So the 6 of Spring, which is also 6 of Wands energy, right, with the doggy playing there. The Rescue Dog, which is a mixed breed or a mutt. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you're singled out for a special recognition. You've done an amazing job and you deserve all the attention. So that's the underlying energy. And the 6 of Wands is that energy of recognition, right? The journeyman coming in with the good news, leading the way, getting lots of attention. So then we have the Ace of Wands coming in after that, the White Tiger. All right? And that's a lot of excitement right there, a new beginning. And then we have the Princess of Autumn along with the King of Summer. Right, so this is the King of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the cat here, the tabby cat, a wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or scholarship is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or start a more rewarding and uplifting career. Cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. So the Prince, that's the Page of Pentacles. So a new passion for this. But then we also have the King of Summer, which is the King of Cups. The Penguin, a trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. Warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful. The King of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. And new passion, either way, okay? So for some of you, it may be more business-oriented, and this could be an offer of a relationship here. That could be a combination of families there with the 4 little penguins, 2 and 2. Okay. I think that was everything. So remember to drink your water, to breathe. Remember to get your rest, your joy, your nature. Get your feet out in the grass. Remember, shoes block you from that energy from the earth, from the field. Okay. So breathe. And rise and be love. Love and rise, you guys. I'll see you.